Let's bring it back to Gauteng, where many parts of the province will have intermittent water supply this weekend. It comes as Rand Water implements a flow control measures to reduce consumption. Now, the utility says water restrictions implemented this week are just not working. In fact, it says water usage has actually increased and it can't rely on customers to actually save water. eNCA's reporter Manqoba Mchunu is joining us from Claremont on this water situation. A very good morning to you, Manqoba Mchunu. And I mean, it's a difficult one because these are services that we pay for as residents of these communities, and yet we are having to fill up bottles from water tankers that are distributed, if we're lucky to get a water tanker in some instances. What is the current situation where you're at this morning?
Well, Rapua can certainly tell you that it is quite a dire situation here in Claremont where we are right now, and we understand that residents here haven't had water for several weeks now due to the issue of water restrictions that have been imposed by the city. Of course, we recall, Rapua, that last night Rand Water announcing that it will be implementing a stage 2 water restriction on many of the municipalities as well as the metros here in Gauteng. In fact, all three metros, we understand, are facing water restrictions of about 30% to 50% due to the high water consumption, and this has been exacerbated by the heat wave that we know has been ongoing here in the province. And of course here residents telling us that they haven't had water for almost a month now. I'm just going to step out of shot, report, so that you can just see there is one of the water tankers here in this community that has come to service these community members, and we understand that it's also going to be giving some water to a local clinic here that is just here next to us. They are filling, in fact, the Jojo tanks from the clinic just to ensure that there's adequate water supply. But residents saying that it has been quite a difficult period for them. I'm going to speak to them now just to get a sense of, how the situation is for them. Mama, thank you very much. Let me just ask you first. I see that you are also here this morning to try and get some water. What has the situation been like here?
Yeah, the thing is we don't have water. I'm sure it's almost a month now. We're struggling. It's like me, I'm working this side. My boss, she have to wake up like in the night when the water comes, like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. She have to go to the back room to do the washing so that it will be easy for me when I come. When I get there, I must get the water. Like when this car comes, I have to fetch the water for them. Just now, like what I'm doing now. We are in a big crisis about the water. I don't know if they can do something like special the toilets. We're struggling with the toilets, everything. Because if you don't have water, you don't have nothing. It's like...
But in terms of, obviously there's this water tanker that's come now. Does it come every day, and how are you coping daily with the situation?
It's like it comes like late hours. We have to wake up in the night and get the water. So like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock, the water is off. So we have to cope in the night. We're not sleeping as well, waiting for the water. If you sleep 1 hour, you wake up, check on the tap, is the water coming out? If there's no water, you have to go sleep again, you have to wake up. It's like, it's a problem, a big, big problem.
Thank you, Ma, for speaking to us. Let me just go to you, Ma. Also, I saw you here trying to desperately get water for your family. How has it been for you?
Like I said, it's a struggle. You wake up, there's no water. You have to make food, you have to cook, you have to do the toilet. So it's really a struggle. And then you get the trucks, they come and they don't come. Sometimes they don't even pass here. Then you have to be without water. And now I've got small kids in my house. So I need to feed them, I need to clothe them, I need to bath them. It's really, it's not fair. I mean, it's over a month now, and the government just don't care. They don't care, and I'm fed up. You put in claims so that you can get the water and everything, but they still don't care.
But has there been any explanation, Ma, as far as, communication from the city on what's happening and when are you likely going to have water?
They keep on saying the same thing over and over. It will be going on Monday and then it never comes on. Then they just give you a notice on your cell phone from JW and say, yeah, there's a situation with the power, they can't put water in the tanks when there's no power. It's just a story all over and all over again. And then you get kids and people that mess with the water, jump on the trucks, and they're just playing with the water. And if the truck driver speak to them, they don't care. And there is really people that's struggling. Like old people. I know 2 old people that can't even come and get water. So, I mean, the situation, and like I said, the government just don't care.
How do you cope, though, on a daily basis? I know that the water truck does come once, but how do you cope on a daily basis?
Like I said, you have to restrict your water. So, but the basic thing is, like last night, the truck went all over. We were standing outside for more than 3 hours. You can hear the truck, you can hear the hooters, but they just don't come in your street. So, I mean, why don't the government do something about them?
Thank you for speaking to us, ma'am. And
well,
it was one of the residents here, Ropo. As you can hear, quite a lot of unhappiness and uncertainty among many of the residents here. They've had no water for weeks now in this particular area. Of course, we know that one of the reservoirs that has been affected here is a reservoir that's not far from here in Brixton, which we understand has been facing over 50% of water reduction due to this high water demand. And the city saying that, of course, these water restrictions are going to continue. They are pleading with residents to use water sparingly and to ensure that they don't water gardens, to ensure that they don't wash cars. And this is all to try and ensure that there's enough water on these reservoirs, which you understand at this particular point are at completely low levels, critical levels of water. And Rainwater saying that it also wants to ensure that there's not a system crash as a result of these water shortages.